Hello homeowners. Are you tired of chilly winters and high energy bills? It might be time to consider a furnace replacement. In this video, we'll explore why upgrading your heating system is a game changer for your comfort, your wallet, and the overall efficiency of your home. Stick around to discover the benefits and make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on the key insights. Let's dive in.
When it comes to furnaces in Edmonton, in Sherwood Park area, when it comes to components that fail first, what do you guys look for in your diagnostic?
So moving parts such as your inducer fan, they tend to fail. If they're starting to vibrate or make any kind of racket, it's a good time to get that replaced as a preventative measure, because you can tell the bearings are starting to go. And once that furnace starts ramping up and running, running a lot when the cold weather hits, it's bound to fail. The other thing too is making sure all the venting has been cleared. Nothing's been lodged in your exhaust venting, nothing's blocking it, that type of thing.
Okay.
But I guess any moving parts and anything heated. So heat exchangers are a big thing too. They fail.
Okay.
Often I see if you don't change your filter regularly, you're not getting a lot of air passing through. So what happens is your furnace is likely on the verge of overheat all the time, which is very hard on heat exchangers.
Okay.
One of the first things we check is to make sure there's no carbon monoxide escaping from the heat exchanger, because you got your burners are heating the heat exchanger, air is passing through the heat exchanger. If it corrodes or there's cracks or any of that type of thing, it allows the combustion to get mixed with that air, causing a carbon monoxide leak.
And that can be very dangerous for people.
Yeah.
Martin. When it comes to that, what is the age at which people should start looking at replacing their furnace? Is it 5 years? Is it 10 years? Like, is there an interval? How long these things go? Is there a shelf life on furnaces?
It all kind of depends. I'd say rule of thumb, after 15 years, if you're starting to make major repairs, it's a good time to start looking at the possibility of replacement, right? Major things to look at, like if you're 15 years old and you get a blower that has to be replaced, you could be looking at anywhere from $800 to $3,000 depending on the piece of equipment you have.
Yeah.
Right? That could be easily put towards a new furnace that has an updated 10-year parts and labor warranty, the 20-year heat exchanger. One of the other problems we look at is sometimes there's shortages on heat exchangers, right? So we can replace the heat exchanger if it goes. You do typically get a 20-year warranty. If we can get that in time before it gets cold, then we can replace it.
Right.
But that's not going to protect. You're going to have to pay for labor to install that.
Okay.
But you still have older components in the furnace.
Okay.
Right, your fans and your control board and other electronic components, right?
Concerning the different types of furnaces that you sell, maybe different brands, can you speak to any particular brands that you guys support and install, and some that you like better than others? Is there a particular brand that you would prefer people would buy, simply because of the quality of components, the longevity of the product, the support from the company? I'll let you talk.
So we're typically a Lennox dealer.
Okay.
We do install other makes as well. We've had the best luck, I would say, with Lennox.
Okay.
So that's kind of our higher level equipment. So if we're looking at more options, higher level of comfort, quieter operating products, higher efficiency, I go for the Lennox. Very few breakdowns, and they work really well. We also offer economical more economical versions, which are kind of like the builder grade type.
Okay.
So similar warranties, just maybe they're not as quiet operating, but still a good option rather than running an older furnace that's mid efficiency or something like that. We can get you into a 2-stage high efficiency furnace for a pretty reasonable price, right? And we have different options that the higher level of comfort you want, we can accommodate that, right? So we work with our customers and their specific needs on what's most important to them.
Okay. Now, when it comes to replacing a furnace, how long does that usually take, and are there permits required when it comes to that in Edmonton or in Sherwood Park for replacing a furnace? What are some of the things people should know about a furnace replacement?
So one thing when it comes to furnace replacement, you do need a gas permit pulled. So we do that for you. We arrange the inspection and with the client. We're looking at, it depends on the job. There's different things we need to do. If you have a natural draft hot water tank, so the old style with a chimney.
Yeah.
That's typically using the same chimney as your furnace. So if we take away that furnace, we need to downsize your chimney, and by putting a sleeve through it and connecting that to your water heater. That's part of that. We need to put that sleeve in there, and an installation can take anywhere from a few hours if we're changing a high efficiency to high efficiency, to like a day.
Okay.
Approximately 6 to 8 hours to do a furnace installation. And then if we're putting in a new filter cabinet, which is recommended for higher flow, basically it's easier on your furnace if we put a 5-inch wide filter rather than a 1-inch.
Okay.
And the filters last longer.
So we've got that. You're saying you replace the 1-inch filter with a 5-inch filter for better flow, and they last longer.
Yep.
And now when it comes to that, let's say it's really cold, what do you use as a temporary heat source for the homeowner if it's going to be like all day without your furnace?
Well, we actually carry, if it's that type of situation, we have space heaters we can bring along. We always carry some in our shop for emergency situations, or another way people, cook a roast.
Right.
Make a roast while we're doing your furnace, right?
Gotcha.
And you'll warm the house up that way.
That sounds good.
Your oven is a great source of heat. Often people think it's you're in many dire straits if your furnace goes down, but you have heat producing equipment in the home. You've got a oven. You've got typically there's fireplaces, or most people have 1 or 2 space heaters around the house, right? And so we're going to survive. There's ways to keep warm.
Okay. Fair enough. I guess let's talk about the cost. How much does a furnace replacement cost on average? I mean, I know it's 2023 right now, going into 2024. So, I mean, that's where it is. But let's say using today's dollars, what are the ranges of furnace replacement cost in Sherwood Park?
Typically, furnace replacements will be from about $5,000 to roughly, $9,000, I'd say.
Oh, okay.
Depends on the size. It can be a bit more than that too if you go with like the most efficient product on the market with the highest level of comfort, smart thermostat, communicating, modulating furnace.
Yeah.
Those are anywhere from $8,000 to $10,000 kind of thing.
Okay.
To our more economical range is about in the $5,000 zone.
Okay. Now, because you do mostly Lennox products, are there any, particular rebates that they have in different times of the year, or kind of all the time they have certain rebates on certain products, or how does that work? Is that something you have to redeem, or is that something the homeowner has to do?
So we offer a $500 discount for a furnace.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Typically, it's a percentage. We can offer up to 7% off. So, basically from $400 to $700 off.
Well, $500 off, or the percentage off of a new furnace, that's still good. It still helps, especially in people are being budget conscious right now with trying to afford things. What about payment plans? Do you guys have payment plans? Are those a good idea, or should people just put it on their credit card? What's your opinion on that?
So we do have different financing plans.
Mm-hmm.
Typically, I caution people, it is a fair bit of interest, especially in today's markets, right?
Yeah.
I do recommend you pay it off sooner, right? Pay less interest. It is an option. We do have, 3 months, no interest, no payments. If we start getting longer than that, you'll notice the price of the equipment has to go up because there is a fee for no payments, no interest charges, right? So typically, rule of thumb, it's never free to finance.
Never.
But in a situation where it's required to get a new furnace, it's typically worth it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you just try to make larger payments, get it paid off quicker, right?
Yeah, it's never a good idea to have a lot of high interest debt over your head, just as a rule. But for someone who really needs to have that furnace right away, I guess you find payment options. But typically, if people know they got to replace it, they should have some kind of money set aside for that already, or they have a line of credit with their home and they can kind of tie it into that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, there are some companies out there that have these never-ending service plans, or they have these furnace rentals. How does that work? And who is that for? Who would want to rent their furnace?
I guess if you rent your furnace, you are basically paying for the fact that you don't have to worry. If there's a repair needed, it's taken care of.
Right.
Right. If it needs to be replaced, it's taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
Right. One of the cautions that I have is do your math. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're looking at 15 years to 20 years lifetime on a furnace, how much are you going to pay for that furnace?
Mm-hmm.
So just do the simple math. Here's my payment, and I have to give it back or buy it out after 15 years or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
You're likely going to pay double the price.
Yeah, it's better to pay for it now than pay double later or more.
That's right.
For sure. And I'm glad that you guys don't really support that kind of a program, because it doesn't set a good precedent. It's not helpful for the homeowners, for the buyers, right?
Yeah, well, for myself, I want people to treat me in a certain way. I expect to be treated a certain way, and so I try to do the same for my customers. I'll treat you the way I would like to be treated.
Mm-hmm.
That way, it's kind of a level playing field.
Yeah, for sure. So besides furnaces, what are some things that you would do at the same time as installing a new furnace? Let's say, do you guys at the same time include a humidifier? Is a humidification system necessary right now? What ones do you recommend? Do you guys work on like soft water systems at the same time? Like, what are some add-ons that people could put on with their furnace that would be good bonuses?
Humidifiers are, very common.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to get the dry air coming, especially your furnace is running all the time. It's drying the air out, plus the cold air is dry to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
Like, humidity in the air is pretty much a requirement here. Like for myself, I put in a steam humidifier,
mm-hmm.
and I'm able to keep my level of humidity exactly where I want it.
Nice.
It's just super important. The other things that we do, we offer package deals as well. If you want to put your air conditioner in, have it ready to go, basically just a short visit in the spring after we do the install in the wintertime to just verify everything's working properly, you know, do a startup for you.
Yeah.
Now's a great time to do that, and you can save some money by getting a bundle discount. You know, we pass on our savings to you. I have guys on site already. They only have to set up once. They only have to clean up once, and it's going to save you money because it saves us time, right?
Yeah, save on that labor charge rather than 2 visits out and basically taking 2 days to install. You can do it in basically a day, right? To do the furnace and the air conditioning coil and the copper and all of that stuff, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Now, what about those air cleaners? Not an air cleaner, but basically the UV light air purification systems. Do you guys include those? Do you have them in?
Yes, we do. Actually, Lennox has a extremely good air purification system. Comes with a UV light, 16 MERV filter, carbon filter. Like I have it in my home, and I've noticed quite a difference in the amount of dust it traps, right?
Great.
And you've got the UV killing any germs in the air as it passes through. We have different HEPA filter options. We've got a lot of different options we can give.
Great. Well, thanks so much for sharing some information on new furnace installations. I know you guys are a great supplier and the HVAC company in Sherwood Park. Look forward to talking to you more on different topics, and hope you have a great day, man.
Thank you.